My guest today is Chavez-Salazar, a community banking leader with Sunrise Bank. With years of experience in business development and relationship banking, Laura is passionate about helping families and small businesses succeed through personal service and local support. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you, David.
Good to have you. So I wanted to ask you, looking forward down the road, from your perspective, what do you see as some of the biggest opportunities for community banks over the next 5 to 10 years to serve individuals as well as businesses?
I think that will continue to be the customer service piece. Nobody wants to walk in and be a number. Nobody wants to be just another person in the line. And community banks, if we continue to be laser focused on our customer service and that delivery that we're so proud of, I think that will be our biggest opportunity to continue to move forward. I mean, the big banks will always be necessary because they serve a size of client that we cannot, even if we wanted to. But our customer service will always be there to serve the small business community, I think.
I'm curious where that emanates from. Where does that come from, that philosophy? Is that something like a bunch of community bankers get together and say, okay, here's what we're going to do? Is it something that's just kind of evolved over time in terms of how the community bank operates so differently from the larger institutions?
Well, I think it's learning from our mistakes, honestly. I've been a community banker for 20 plus years. And for a minute, I think we did lose ourselves wanting to be like the big guys, maybe doing the sales and the things like they were doing because they were good. But customers said, we don't want that. If we wanted to be treated like a number, we would go across the street. We come here because we want that personal service. So we had to really slow down and take it back a notch or two. And we really found that that's where we lead the way. Customers want that face-to-face.
And I know Sunrise Bank primarily serves Volusia and Flagler counties?
We serve Volusia, Flagler, Brevard.
And Brevard. Mm-hmm. And then you have other locations in other parts of the state?
We do.
Okay. And so is that common for a community bank to kind of serve a particular area and kind of have a centralized focus?
It is. That is a typical move. It allows you to be a better servant to those communities. It allows you to really know and serve your share owners, because if you really know the area that you're serving, you're able to provide that business that you want for your customers. And if you grow too far out of that, you can lose sight of that.
Well, that goes to my next question about local engagement. I was going to ask about what is most likely to drive the growth for a community bank? Is it the engagement in local community, technology partnerships, other factors? What do you see from your vantage point of over 20 years?
In my opinion, I've tried it all to find the thing that works for me. It's local engagement. When I'm out, you get to meet me in person, you get to talk to me, you get to tell if I'm genuine or if it's just another voice on the phone calling, trying to get an appointment with you. Just very recently, I'll give you this anecdote. I've been trying to meet a very prominent businesswoman in our community, and I've just never been able to get in the door. I happened to run into her in a parking lot, and I never met her, so I didn't know what she looked like. And she needed help, so I approached her to help her. I had my name badged on. We started talking, and then she introduced herself. My chin just about hit my lap. But she said, she gave me an appointment to come visit her, and I said, I've been trying to get an appointment with you, but it was that face-to-face. She got to meet the person, not the mailer or whatever that came.
Wow, that's a great story. So what are some of the misconceptions you think people still have about community banking?
I can think of two right off the top of my head. A lot of people think you're just a community, and they say these things when they come in. You're just a community bank. You're
deposits,
old-fashioned.
Yeah.
You can't, you don't have the technology that the big guys have, which is not true. We have all of the same services, but you get this, high-end service with us. And then another one is we see it on the lending side. Oh, we came to you because we were told to go to the community bank. They don't really do research, and they'll give anybody a loan. When in reality, we do more due diligence than probably, because a loss to us is a lot more, of a problem than a bigger company.
Makes sense. So last couple, 10, 20 years, What are some of the lessons that have been learned in the community banking that's impacted how community banks operate today?
The last 10 years have been filled with growth for us as bankers. We found that resiliency and customer service really are what is going to get us through. Just with COVID, for example, that was the biggest push for us as community. I think as community bankers, we were really falling behind a little bit with technology, and COVID came and really and we had to either get out there and do it, figure it out, and push through it, or we weren't going to do it. So technology had to be taken in. We had to figure out ways to help customers without making them come in, employees, all the rules. So I think it was that resiliency and that customer service, that willingness to serve our customers when they were looking for PPP loans and they couldn't get in the door at their banks, to figure out a way to call them, take out, and make it work. So it's that resiliency, definitely.
So has that kind of left an imprint on how community banks work today? And so I'll ask it as a kind of a numerical or question of percentage. So how much of your business is where the person comes into the bank location to transact or do things or have a meeting versus the bankers and the representatives, the relationship managers going out and meeting with those people?
If you walk into a lobby, our community banker lobby they're pretty slow because
Because you're out.
We are out. I mean, we're sending couriers to pick up deposits. I've gone out to pick up deposits. So I would say 40%, because we are that engaged and connected with them, and we really try to make it as easy as possible for them.
Well, that plays into my next question, which is, and again, this is an obvious yes, that this would be a good one. What do you say to customers trying to understand the difference between big bank, small bank, community bank, and being able to choose the right bank for them?
If the banker can answer that question, how will you support me as a business or as our client in an eloquent way, then you go bank with that bank. If they stumble through it, they don't really know how, they're just transactional, you probably want to shop around. Yeah. It's like if you need heart surgery, you don't want to have the surgery done by the first doctor, down the road. You really need to do your research, and this is going to be the people handling your finances. So
yeah, well, and especially for business owners, changing banks is no small event. They've got all kinds of deposits and things that, automatic deposits, all of those things that go into, they need to feel good that they are going to make that change and make it once or not very often, because it's a lot of work. So I think that due diligence would be very helpful.
Yes, and I think a lot of the big banks play on that they know it's just entirely too much work. Yeah. But we do it all for them. This $1 million client, they literally never came into the office. I did everything for them. He needed a safe deposit box later, and he came in. He said, I came in. I needed to know that you really had an office here.
Good to know. All right, very good. Laura Chavez-Salazar, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.